We have a lot to talk about today involving Drake and Kendrick Lamar. But before we get to any of that, I got something that I just want to talk about real quick so y'all can know what videos we should be dropping today. We have at least 2 Fannie Willis videos that should be dropping today. There's a lot going on down there, including a possible RICO against her. Just so we could be clear, she's been using funds improperly. She's currently in trouble for that. There's a news media called Just the News, and basically they asked her for something that is supposed to be public records, and she like declined to give it, so she's in a ton of troubles. So expect for that to come out. I have from our previous live, I have some videos that I took out from our previous lives that I should also be uploading. So please, everyone, make sure that you do comments. There's a reason why some people names I say, some people names I don't say. I think I have to get a little bit better at reading the comments and making it so that if another person can't see the comments, they actually understand what I'm responding to. And that's why I haven't necessarily uploaded some of those videos at the moment. With that being said, we have to talk about this Drake response. I want everybody to put into the chat. I'm going to repeat this over and over throughout the video, but I want everyone to put into the chat, who do you think is up? But I have something that we really need to talk about and we really need to discuss. The reason why I'm always leaning this way, because I put my feet off to that side because I have to stand in front of me. But there is something that we really need to discuss. And I think that it's important. And I think the people who support Drake are giving him a pass for a thing. And they're pretending like it was a chess move. Lying is not a chess move. Lying is lying. That's all it is. If you're a liar, you're a liar. Lying is lying. Lying is not a chess move. I'm going to tell you something that I really appreciate about, I forgot which villain it is, but there's a villain in I forgot what villain it is. When I remember, I'll tell you. But the nigga never lies. But he's the bad guy. He's always winning. But he never lies. Lying is not a chess move. Deception can be a chess move. But lying is never a chess move. Lying is just lying. I just want to be clear on this. Because I hear Drake's last response. I don't think Kendrick should drop another verse. I don't think Kendrick should drop another reply. I'm going to explain that. I don't think Kendrick should drop another reply. I think at this point, so in the art of war, basically one of the things is that you have to know when you've won. You have to know when your opponent is defeated. And then at this point, you don't keep pressing. That's why they never killed Nelson Mandela. They didn't want to make him a martyr. That's why they put him in jail. They kept him incarcerated for all of those years. They tortured him. They did everything, but they would not kill him. Because then they would have went past their victory. And by going past their victory, they will be breaking one of the laws, one of the rules. All right? So I don't think Kendrick, he can if he wants to, but I don't think he needs to respond back to Drake specifically because that last rap that Drake dropped, he didn't actually go at Kendrick. He just explained away his behavior. This is my opinion. Put it in the chat however you feel about it. So let's get to some of the things real quick involving this latest Drake. I think Drake even knows he lost. Do you remember when Nas dropped Ether? For everybody that don't know, 4 years, Nas had been going back and forth with Jay-Z and Jay-Z's camp. For years. They were throwing shots at each other. For years. What ends up happening is Jay drops, there's so many parallels here. What ends up happening is Jay drops, pardon me, the takeover. In the takeover, Jay goes at multiple rappers. I just want to be clear on this. I need you to understand this. Jay goes at multiple rappers. One of the rappers that he went at was Nas, right? So Nas waited like 6 months, dumb long time. Then he drops Ether, right? After Nas drops Ether, there was a couple of other songs also, but these are the ones that was at the apex of the conversation. After Nas drops Ether, Jay drops Super Ugly. Super Ugly was so terrible that we kind of all agree it was not up to the quality of a Jay-Z. Is that fair? That Nas never actually responded back because that was the appropriate way to take it. I think that that's the position that Kendrick Lamar currently is in. You know, Euphoria is, I think, #1 or #2 on Spotify and Apple Music in Canada. I'm going to say that again for the people that don't get it. Euphoria. The Drake diss from Kendrick Lamar, which is arguably not better than Not Like Us. It probably is better than Not Like Us, but we'll have that discussion. I just, arguably. It's #1 and #2 in Canada. So Drake is not liked in his own country. So you mean all of this hype we've been getting about how much people love Drake is fake? I'm going to repeat that for the people that don't get what I'm saying. So Drake is not liked in his own country. Euphoria is currently either #1 or #2 on Apple and Spotify. In Canada. We're not talking about the rest of the world. We're talking about specifically in Canada. Kendrick Lamar mentions a Chinese food restaurant that now shoots up to such an acclaim that they have people ordering from them specifically because Kendrick mentioned eating fried rice there. Why am I saying all this? We spoke about this before. Many other people spoke about this. Why am I saying this? Did you hear the new Drake comeback? Did Drake address any of this? Forget addressing anything. Did Drake come back at Kendrick with anything? Or did Drake, just so we can be clear, all Drake said was basically the biggest takeaway I got from this, and the biggest takeaway I keep hearing other people speak about is Kendrick Lamar had bad intel. Kendrick Lamar had bad intel. That's the outcome I keep getting. So basically, Drake said that he had his people give him bad information, and now he's making fun of Kendrick Lamar for not fact-checking the information with the same people that gave him the information that was false. I'm going to say that again, because he literally says this in the rap. So anybody saying that I'm wrong, you're just lying. So Kendrick Lamar said, we gave him the bad information. Then right in the next line, he says he didn't even bother to, he says, we gave him the bad information. Then he said, we wanted to give him more bad information, but he didn't ask any more questions. And then in the next line, he basically says, and he didn't fact check it. So who was he fact checking any of this stuff against? What I see Iron Addict salute. Who is he fact checking any of this stuff with? So you got to pay attention to liars. This is what you call manipulation. I lied to you about a thing, and you believe the thing. So therefore, you're wrong. How, nigga? You want to know what kills me? This kills me. Why do people get mad at the individual that was lied on, but they won't get mad at the individual that told the lie? Because somebody put that in the chat for me. I need to know. I need to know why, if a person lies on another person, individuals, even after finding out that the lie was a lie, they'll be mad at the individual that was lied on, but won't be mad at the individual that told the lie. Because somebody explain this to me. I need an explanation. I don't understand it. See, Iron Addict says, even with bad intel, that song was devastating. Agreed. So Drake, instead of writing freaking lines, writing a verse, writing bars, you was busy trying to set up false information to give to the nigga that you, this is not how we battle rap, fam. You bad for the culture for real, for real. Like you for real bad for the culture. So instead of just battling the nigga, you was giving him bad intel or trying your hardest to give him bad intel. So instead of doing good and beating Donald Trump at the polls, they decided to just put him in jail so they don't have to go against him. So we're just going to ignore the manipulators. We're going to ignore the liars, and we're going to just hold the people accountable that was lied on. This is my opinion. Being that Drake admitted that they gave bad information to Kendrick, however that happened, I have to excuse every single line that Kendrick said that came from the bad information. I have to now look at that line on the merit of parody. Because I can't hold Kendrick Lamar responsible for a lie that was given to him. I have to hold the liar responsible. You see how Satan works? Satan wants you to hold the individual who was lied to responsible for their behavior that they exhibited due to the lie. I had to stop for a minute to make sure that you heard what I said. So every single, just so we can be clear, bar that Kendrick Lamar dropped because his adversary gave him a lie, I'm a rapper. I'm not one of them dudes that got a deal, not saying that, but I'm a rapper. I've been listening to hip hop since the bridge is over. Since before that. This is not how rap battle is done, fam. We get in the booth and we make it happen. We don't plot and plan to give bad information to a nigga. That's something else. That's not rap battling. Kendrick made a really good point. He said, yo, how is Drake going to go back to the fucking, how is Drake going to pull up to places like Oakland? That nigga took Tupac's voice and put it on a diss track against Kendrick Lamar. I have no idea why other people don't see it as desperate. Why would you disrespect Tupac like that? Why are you trying to clout chase off of Tupac? Nobody talking about that? Nobody talking about the clout chasing off Tupac? Also, I want to know, what do Drake and Birdman got on some of these larger freaking podcasts? Are y'all just paying them? Or do y'all got something on them? Because the way some of these dudes is pretending like Kendrick Lamar just taking an L is beyond me. The wild part is, so Drake didn't write, hold on, let's just rewind for one moment. So Drake didn't write back-to-back either. Daylight wrote back-to-back. For everybody that don't know what back-to-back is, back-to-back was the song that he put out going against Meek when he went back-to-back. Like Kendrick just did to him. Wink, wink. What up, Havoc? Said facts. So Drake is constantly doing shit that we don't do in the culture. This is not shit that's in hip-hop culture. I need an explanation. Can somebody just give me an explanation? How is this acceptable? I just want to know how this is acceptable. I keep talking about how versatile Drake is. Is he versatile, or do he just got different groups of rappers, different groups of ghostwriters? Did you hear the Kendrick ball when Kendrick talked about his ghostwriters? Kendrick dropped the ball, fam, talking about his ghostwriters and AI in the same ball, saying that the nigga not only got ghostwriters, but he also got AI helping him. Fam. Fam. Why we on this shit? Kendrick brought up a great point. He says, yo, why he got all of them niggas in the OVO camp, but none of them drop any music? Basically, they don't drop music because every time they make a good song, Drake steals it. Listen, anybody got an explanation for that? He got all of these rappers in his camp, but they never drop any music. Kendrick basically says that every time they make a good song, Drake steals it. So they don't never drop nothing. So that's how Drake is always able to go all over the world, doing all of these other things, never being in the studio, but somehow having music. What up, New York Urban Legend? Salute. What up, DS Williams? Salute. New York Urban Legend says facts. DS Williams says, yeah, Drake takes their music. C Iron Addict says he's the real rap Elvis. Which is ironic because Elvis was into what? Little girls. I'm going to say something. There's only one program that I can watch that has Millie Bobby Brown in it, and that's Stranger Things. And the reason why that's the only program that I've seen her in that I could watch is because I've seen it before I saw the interaction she had with Drake. So every time I see her in anything, all I could think is about the interactions that I see her have with Drake on the photos and everything else, and it just didn't look right. So I don't even feel comfortable watching that young girl's content. Because every time I see her, I think she was compromised at a young age. Shout out to Florida State Bully. Salute. New York Urban Legend said he'd sound defeated on his last track. He sounded defeated like heck. He sounded, fam. I told y'all wasn't here when I said what I said, so I'm gonna repeat it. I don't think Kendrick has to drop another verse. I don't think he has to drop another diss. I'm saying that the situation that just happened is tantamount to what happened regarding Nas and Jay-Z when you had Jay-Z drop one of the dopest battle raps of all time, better than any freaking battle rap Drake has ever done. Ever. Nothing Drake has ever done is even close to the takeover. Let's just be clear on that. For all of y'all dudes out here on Drake's producing parts. I'm trying to for all of these people out here that's on Drake's, you know, the parts that the male uses to reproduce. Drake has never made a song as good as a diss track, as good as The Takeover. Very few artists have. So I'm in no way disrespecting The Takeover. I just need for that to be known. That song was great. The only problem that song had is that it had to go against Ether. That's the only problem that song had. That song was damn near perfect from beginning to end. I don't think it could have been produced any better. I don't think that can't think of a bar you could have changed or inserted or taken out. It was great. But when he drops The Takeover, then Nas drops Ether, then he drops Super Ugly, Nas didn't have to respond again. Because Super Ugly wasn't even up to the quality of Ether, of The Takeover. See, that's the issue you have when you go first. Because whatever you're dropping next has to at least be better than the shit you dropped before. Super Ugly was not better than Ether, but it was definitely not better than freaking The Takeover. If it had been better than The Takeover, then Nas would have probably have had to drop another verse, but he didn't. In The Art of War, it says you have to get to where you win, but when you get to your win, to not keep going. So I don't know if Kendrick should drop another verse, because I don't think that shit Drake dropped is worth it. Put it in the chat if you agree with me. Mac Q says Drake got KO'd. He got knocked out. Font Madge says Drake waved the white flag. 100% agree. I think he felt like he couldn't go at Kendrick. So the verse that the song he actually put out was just trying to clarify some of his positions to try to get some of the weight off of him. But I think he honestly understands that he cannot beat Kendrick in a battle. You cannot. You don't have the wordplay. Havoc says Drake sounded deflated, frustrated, defeated, and depressed. Drake sounded all of those things. Font Madge says 1000% agree. And C Iron Addict says, I don't think he will, but I want K Dot to drop another song. I think all of us would like to hear K Dot keep going. Like I told you, I think he got a whole album. Yo, didn't I say that? Did y'all start seeing people on the internet now saying that he got a whole album? I think he has a whole album, fam. Why do we say shit over it? I'm telling you right now, a lot of content creators be in our chat and watch our videos and then go parrot what I say and just don't give me credit for it. Y'all just don't get it. Font Man says, that's who's paying the people to come at me and try to hold me down. You understand? Font Man says, part 6 was good, but the game was already over. I don't think part 6 was a battle rap, is the point I'm trying to make. I think it was just an explanation for his behavior. I don't see that as a battle rap. It wasn't a battle rap. Sorry. It wasn't a battle rap. I think it was just an explanation for his behavior. Him trying to say that he don't mess with little kids. I'm sorry, fam. We've seen you multiple times. See, this is the thing. Behavior could be misunderstood. Like, you can literally just be saying hi to somebody and they just take it completely wrong. That happens. You could be having a regular conversation with somebody and they just take you completely wrong. That happens. It's called misunderstandings. But when we consistently see Drake around little young girls and flirting, that just seems a little odd. Around Millie Bobby Brown said she went and was in a hotel with Drake in Australia when she was 14. Drake went out to Australia to visit her in a hotel room? Why? Somebody explain that shit to me? Font says Drake took too long to take Kendrick serious. No, I think he was taking him serious the whole time. I just don't think he has the capability. Font says Drake took too long to take Kendrick seriously. He kept dividing his time with other beefs he had. Kendrick was always just pointing at him. And now no, I think that's what Drake wants it to look like. I think Drake wants it to look like that. I think Drake wanted to look like he's being overwhelmed when in reality, he's creating all of the beefs. It's just manipulation. So whether he wins or he loses, he can always in the future, or his supporters could just say, well, he was going against 10 niggas. Nah, first of all, Drake got more ghostwriters than he has beefs that he was involved in. Just so we could, I don't even know. He's involved in a lot of beefs. That's a whole nother conversation. But currently, the rappers who's going at him he had more ghostwriters than the current rappers who's going at him that he's paying any attention to. So no, I'm not going to allow for him to use that as an excuse. Also, the fact that he had time in his day to go feed misinformation to Kendrick Lamar, he had time in his day to write better raps. He had time in his day to write more raps. He had time in his day to address all of the people that he addressed and maybe more. He had time in his day to go feed information to somebody that was incorrect. Then why wouldn't he have time in his day to go do something constructive? See, that's the thing. If you got time to do something destructive, you have that same time to go do something constructive. It's choice. That's it. It's just choice. Out-rapped them, out-styled them. Kendrick just a better MC. Drake isn't an MC, so I agree with you. Drake is a rapper. Show more range and styles. Drake isn't an MC. Drake is a rapper, with all due respect. We're not calling Drake an MC. I'm not going to allow you to do that. He's not an MC. He's a rapper. He's a very, very good rapper. He's been doing it for a long time. He has a big fan base. He's a rapper. Very successful rapper. He is not an MC. We're not going to do that. We're not going to disrespect all the great MCs about the course of the history of not just music, but entertainment in general. Because you don't have to be a rapper to be an MC. You know who another great MC is? Martin Lawrence. Great MC. Another great MC, what's his dude name? He sings New York, New York. Who sings the song New York, New York? Old white guy, passed away. Great MC. So we've had a lot of great MCs. He's not an MC. He's a rapper. I just wanted to name some in different genres of Johnny Carson is another great MC. Frank Sinatra, thank you. Great MC. He's not an MC. We're not going to do that. He's a rapper. He's a really, really good rapper. He deserves all of the respect and accolades that he receives for rapping, but he is not an MC. He doesn't have enough charisma to be an MC. You know how much charisma you have to be? Pardon me. You know how much charisma you have to be a decent MC, nevertheless a great one? He's not an MC. He doesn't have charisma. Sorry, I don't see it. Frank Sinatra, great MC. Johnny Carson, great MC. Martin Lawrence, great MC. John Madden, great MC. Get it? Havoc says, all Kendrick needs to do is post that video going around online of Drake and a 17-year-old girl on stage and he's done. Fam. I'm going to say something, and let's just keep this in the right appropriate context, because a lot of men have never been hit on before. So, you know, especially in this day and age, like, so a lot of men never been hit on before. But I'm going to say this. There is a job of a man that when a young girl is feeling herself and steps out of pocket to put her back in pocket, that is the job of a man. So when a young girl steps out of pocket with you, you know, for whatever the freaking reason she might have going on with herself that don't got nothing to do with you, there is a job to put her back in pocket. That's the difference between a man and a creep. Not a nigga that's standing around minding his business and he just happens to look in that direction and some young girls is over there. No. When a young kid, a young girl steps out of pocket, a man puts her back in pocket. I get it. A lot of niggas never been hit on by older women, regular age women, women of their age, or women that was younger. But when a little girl hits on a man, you're supposed to put them back in pocket. They're not going to like it 9 times out of 10. I'm telling you what it is. Some of them in this day and age are going to get resentful and they're going to talk crazy to you. You're going to be all type of homos and everything else. I promise you. But it's a man's job when these young girls step out of pocket to put them back in pocket. I don't get that from Drake. You're not supposed to soothe their ego. You're not supposed to do it nicely. Hey. I don't get that from Drake. That's the difference between a man and a creep. Because what a creep is going to do is a creep is going to try to test the fucking waters. What a man is going to do is put it back in pocket. Now, how you do that is how you do that. But there should have some rudeness attached to it. There has to be a level of rudeness that you have attached to it. Because this has to be a lesson. Not just you saying you're not down with it, but you let her know you're doing the wrong thing. So there has to be an element of rudeness attached to it. A lesson. When Drake was on stage with that 17-year-old girl, and then I think he like bit her on the ear or nibbled on her ear, some shit, and she looked all the uncomfortable. She thought she was just going up on stage to sing a song with Drake. She didn't know she was going on stage for Drake to try to usher her. Drake was trying to have an usher moment, fam. If Drake was trying to have an usher moment, he had to call. You have to call up a girl up on stage, a female up on stage. There ain't no question about it. You trying to have an usher moment. You got to call up some girl on stage that might look like she married. I'm just saying what it is. We're not doing that to marry women, but the point being, it can't be a question. If I'm lying, put it in the chat. If I'm saying anything wrong, put it in the chat. They just going to have to be mad at you, fam. And I'm telling you, because some of us have issues where little girls proposition us. Some men have issues where little girls proposition them. You got to put them in their fucking place. I get it. A lot of men don't have that issue. Dude said, Havoc said, all Kendrick had to do was post that video going around online, Drake with the 17-year-old girl. There is so many videos of Drake with underage females acting inappropriately. I seen somebody make a montage of the shits on Instagram. Anyway, let's move to the next point. For anybody, I want to know if you're a Drake fan, let me know, fam. Maybe you can have an insight that can allow for me to have a better understanding of your position. This is not a kill Drake show. I just want to be clear on that. I just personally think Drake is losing. I'm asking for individuals that believe that Drake is winning. Tell me how. Don't just say he's winning. I want to know how. We're discussing the elements that we believe Kendrick to have over Drake. If anybody has the elements that they believe Drake has over Kendrick, put them in the chat. But I'm letting you know right now, the fact that Drake told Kendrick that lie, we have to excuse Kendrick for repeating it. If Kendrick would have got the lie from somewhere else, then we hold him accountable. But since Kendrick got the lie, as so Drake says, from Drake and his camp, we can't hold Kendrick accountable for the lie. We can't hold Kendrick accountable for the fact that he got lied to. We have to stop being angry at the person who was lied to and who was lied on. And we have to start being angry at the individual telling the lie. Niggas who tell a lie, create a situation, step back while those two motherfuckers argue. Tell me what's so gangster about that. I want to know. I want to know what's so gangster about that. Put it in the chat. Somebody tell me. Put it in the chat. I'm hoping we have a Drake sympathizer in here. Somebody that's, on Drake's team. Put it in the chat. Up until Drake said that his team gave the lie to Kendrick, I was saying that's Kendrick's only loss in the battle. But now, knowing that Drake formulated the lie to get to Kendrick so Kendrick write a bar about it, nah, nigga, I can't hold Kendrick responsible. What kind of nigga is you? That's not probably how that happened either. It probably happened a different way, but we got you. Shouldn't have said nothing. But you couldn't accept your win. You couldn't just take your win. If Drake would have just accepted that win and kept his mouth shut, he would have been able to hold on to it. But since he had to rub it in the face of Kendrick Lamar, now, to me, that's not a win. A nigga believing the lie you told about yourself is not a win. What that sounds to me like is you knew you had no chance of beating this nigga. You knew you had no wins. You knew you was going to get roasted. You knew you was going to get killed. So you busy trying to set up roadblocks to prevent the guy from getting to his destination instead of making it so that your car was faster. Y'all busy on the road racing, and you got niggas throwing fucking tree logs and boulders out of the side of the mountains to try to hit Kendrick Lamar's car instead of just out racing him. Since when is that nigga the hero? So instead of fighting fair, you fought dirty. This is tantamount to using steroids in a boxing match. So fam, Max says a good roasting freaky ass nigga was funny. I think he called them gay, by the way. That's what he meant by that. That's what I think he meant by that. I think he was calling them gay. But he said a lot of other things that lends to the idea that he was calling him gay, by the way. Font says that colonizer move always need to find some clout somewhere trying to sway the crowd. Fam, shout out to Manzi, salute. Fam, dude isn't even trying to win the race. Dude is just trying to sabotage his opponent. That sounds like Satan shit to me. That sounds like the shit Satan do. How the hell are you trying to sabotage your opponent if you think you better than them? Right now, Kendrick next one need to be the flu game. He needs to call that shit the flu game, fam. That rap, matter of fact, not his next one. The rap where he said all of that shit, where Kendrick lied in, where Drake lied to him, that shit should be called the flu game. That nigga beat him with false information that he supplied. For everybody that don't know about the flu game, allegedly it was in the Utah finals that Michael Jordan allegedly had the flu, but he didn't have the flu. They gave him food poisoning. This pizza place out there they ordered pizza from, they put shit in the pizza. He was the only one to eat the pizza. So he got food poisoning. That wasn't the flu. Ben Roman says, Drake says, told you Drake was up in the battle, top of the morning. It's a win at all costs. So Ben Roman, you think Drake is up? You think Drake is winning? Explain to me why. It's definitely win at all costs. He's doing all the most underhanded shit he could possibly do. Explain to me why, fam. Everybody else is saying why they think Kendrick is winning. I'm not asking you to do anything outside of anything. Explain to me why. Don't get scared now. People be, I'm not talking about you, Ben Roman, but you've seen this. People will come into the chat and they'll be like, Froze, I think something different than you. And I'll be like, fine. Why do you think the thing? But they can never explain why they could think the thing. They just think the thing. You think Drake is an anti-hero. That's what, okay, whatever. I don't see it. But explain to me why you think Drake is up. Come on, tell me some bars. Tell me something. Tell me an opinion based on what's going on over there, Ben Roman. Come on, fam. No, don't tell me about what you think he's like. Tell me everybody else is discussing bars. Come on, fam. I'm here. No disrespect. We're going to deal with this as... But if you can't prove your point, somebody drop the Cash App. Somebody put the Cash App in the chat. If you can't prove the point, I'm gonna want some love today. If you can't prove your point, I'm gonna want some love today. If you can't prove your point, I'm gonna want some love today. Somebody drop the Cash App in the chat. You know the Cash App, Ben Roman, drop it for me. If you cannot prove your point, and I'm fair, and I'm 100% sure, I don't even know if I should say that. I don't think you're going to be able to prove your point. You know what? I'm going to back up off of that. You don't got to pull up at nothing. I just don't think you're going to be able to prove your point. With that being said, also drop the Cash App down there in the chat if anybody is enjoying the show. I don't think you're going to be able to prove your point. I don't think there's a point to be proven. But I do want to see some Drake people in here. So Drake people, speak the fuck up. Help Ben Roman out. Ben Roman is in here. He's trying to come to Drake's defense. The rest of y'all in here watching, come help him out. Havoc says, but the problem is Drake took 2 days to come out with his bars. If it was true, he would have been ready on go. I can't agree with that. I cannot agree with that. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with your Drake took too long to respond. I can't agree with that. Kendrick just responded at like supernatural time damn near. I'm not going to hold Drake to that same, I'm not holding no rapper to that same thing. Kendrick was just ready. Drake is definitely way behind. He's getting outdone by Hip Hop Masterclass on all fronts. I'm going to agree with that. Ben Roman said, for starters, he told the truth in all of his bars. Once again, okay, so say what bar. Shout out to Ben Roman with the $5 drop. Salute, my brother. Dropping some of them stickers over here. Ben Roman pulls up to the saloon. He walks through the door. He says, y'all rat bastards. Drake is winning. I got proof Drake is winning. He drops $5 on the table. Bartender pushes him over a coffee. Pushes him over a blueberry muffin. Pushes him over a small sarsaparilla. Ben Roman throws back the sarsaparilla. Bartender pushes over one more. He pushes him over a shot of tequila. He throws back the tequila. He looks at the coffee. He says, Jack Frost, this one is for you. Shout out to Ben Roman pulling up to the saloon this morning, having some coffee with. Saloon is on this morning, fam. Who's pulling up? Cash App, Super Chat, and or PayPal. Saloon's on this morning. Tell me what bar you're talking about that Kendrick said that was false. Let's talk about that. Let's come on, fam. You at your phone. You could go through your phone real quick and come back. Camilla says, so it's cool now to plot and make up lies about being a deadbeat. I need you to explain that one because there's a lot of that going on in the jump off. I don't know who you're talking about specifically. Then he say he got info from clowns. I'm assuming you're talking about Kendrick now. That Kendrick made up lies about, just so before I respond back, I just want to make sure I'm on the right page before I say anything. So you're saying Kendrick made up lies about Drake being a deadbeat. And then you're saying that he said that he got the info from clowns and now he don't want to diss no more, not telling lies or manipulating clownish behavior. You're saying that about Kendrick, correct? Shout out to Ben Roman with the next $5 drop sticker. Ben Roman then takes his coffee up. He drinks some of the coffee. He spins around. He puts his arms on the bar like this as he looks at all of the people on the outside of the bar that are supportive of Drake. I'm supportive of Kendrick. And he says, y'all can't even get in the club. It's $5 to get into the saloon, by the way. Anybody want to go in there and have a fight with Ben Roman? Right now is the time. We doing battle rap and we talking about battling. Whenever you pull up to the saloon, there's always a fight. Cash App, Super Chat, and or PayPal. Hold on. I'm gonna tell me exactly who you're talking about. I want to make sure I address this appropriately. Felicia says it's videos of Drake being a weirdo. He lied about his son. Did y'all forget Kendrick is from the streets? Okay, so Camellia, you're saying Drake, just so we can be clear here, is the deadbeat and the clown, or Drake is a clown because he had the information fed to Kendrick? I just want to be clear about who you're speaking about so I make sure that my response is appropriate. He said his client fed the info to Kendrick, saying Drake had a daughter when that's not true. Okay, so you were way more clear about this, Ben Roman, so I'm going to express my point on this. If Drake wasn't the one, if Drake and Drake's camp was not the camp that sent the info to Kendrick, I can hold Kendrick responsible. But since Drake is quite blatantly saying we lied to Kendrick, I cannot hold Kendrick accountable. When are we mad at the person that got lied to and not mad at the liar? Be right back. And just so we can be clear, the Drake fans are up in the chat right now. They're up 10-0. The Drake fans are up in the chat right now. They're up 10-0. So I just want to be clear on this. And the reason why they're up 10-0 is because the only person that's in the saloon currently is Ben Roman. So Ben Roman put his team up 10-0. So there's two battles going on right now. The first battle is the actual conversation we're having, and the second battle is in the saloon. And Ben Thomas don't got nobody in the saloon trying to scrap with him. So right now, They're running the saloon. Drake's people are running the saloon right now. They in there. He got the Drake paraphernalia up. They got people on the stage singing Drake's lyrics. They're in the saloon right now. They're running the saloon. Shout out to Drake people for having the saloon going. So I just want to say this before I read any more comments. If Kendrick would have got his information from somewhere other than Drake's camp, then this is a win for Drake. But since Drake and his camp, in my opinion, factually, of course, Drake said it, told the lie to Kendrick on purpose to be lying to him and to misinform him. They started the rumor. I cannot hold Kendrick or anyone responsible because someone lied to them about themselves. I think that's crazy. Also, so y'all can understand how the ball goes, Drake says, we gave you bad information. Then Drake says, we wanted to give you more bad information, but you stopped asking. Then Drake says, you didn't fact check. So basically he said, we gave you bad information, and the way you were supposed to fact check that was through us. But you didn't want any more information. So where was he supposed to fact check this? From the niggas that was lying in the first place? The information was a lie. Now, if someone else lied on Drake, then you can fact check it by going to the source of the lie that was being told. But since the person that lied was the individual who you would have went back to the fact check, how can you fact check it? Put it in the chat. Explain that shit to me. Key Possible says, he said the same thing about his son Adonis. He denied him. 2, let's be real. Drake was a long history of lying. I don't believe him. I don't think that this is necessarily the way that it happened either. But this is the information that we have, Key Possible. So this is the information we're going to work on with all due respect. But I understand what you're saying, and I'm not moving away from that. I just talk about it more so we can even get a better understanding of what you mean. That's what I'm saying. Put it in the chat. Camilla says, exactly, clownish behavior. Why would you even want to have that said about you? They said then say you're telling the truth. Fam, how are you gonna believe anything a nigga say that tell a nigga a lie to tell on him? Put that in the chat. I need that explanation. How are you gonna believe anything that a nigga say that tells a nigga a lie specifically for them to go tell that lie on them? How are you believing anything that come out of that nigga mouth? That sounds like you just working for Satan, fam. Florida State Bully says most rappers lie in their raps anyway. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think this is a different area though, just so we can be clear. We in the saloon jamming the Family Matters. They playing Family Matters in the saloon, fam. If anybody want to pull up in the saloon, you could and we fighting in the saloon today. So if there's any people who are anti-Drake and y'all pull up in the saloon, it's 100% hands-on. I'm letting y'all know. So you better be ready, Ben Roman, or I'm just letting you know. But somebody got to pull up in the saloon first for the fight to start. Max says, why is Drake can't telling his business? They were just telling lies, and people can't tell each other's business all the time. They was just telling lies. So I can't hold Kendrick responsible for repeating something that the nigga, you know how many times niggas tell you something positive about themselves and it's a lie? I can't hold Kendrick responsible. If he would have got the lie from somewhere else, then I could say, you didn't even ask them, you ain't fact check it. But the people who told him to lie is the people who the lie is about. How is he supposed to fact check it? You don't lie about not having kids, though. That's weird as fuck. That's crazy. That's a fact. What up, Fareed? Says this crazy. This is crazy. Key Possible says Drake is a liar, period. Sounds that way. Marvin Thompson says, how could that be weird? He famous. He don't want all of his business out there. No. Okay. You know what? I believe it's one thing not to tell people that you have kids. I think it's another thing to lie about actually having the kids. And I think that's the point that she's trying to make. I could be wrong, though. She could speak for herself. Ben Roman says, did Tupac really smash Faith? Absolutely. Or was that a lie, too? Kendrick got to beat up the repeater of false info. No. Kendrick was lied to. Are you talking about the situation going on with his baby mother? Kendrick doesn't have to fight his Drake's camp for telling them a lie about Drake. That should tell you everything you need to know about the nigga. He had a lie go out to his opposition about himself, so he can later say that nigga lying. Fam. We got to get somebody got to go in. Nobody don't seem like they want to go in there and squab with you right now, fam. But I'm letting you know right now, we talking about a battle rap. We got one side and we got another side. Right now, Drake team is winning. They up 10-0. If you want to, Kendrick team need to pull up to the saloon. It's just, that's the way it is. For everybody that don't know what pulling up to the saloon is, basically, Ben Roman pulled up to the saloon when he did donations to the page. That's how you pull up into the saloon. Marvin Thompson says, not saying I believe or don't believe, but I can. I don't think that's not a chess move, fam. Lying is not a strategy. Lying is just lying. Why do y'all, like, we got to change this concept that doing shit like lying is just lying, fam. Key Possible say he lied about surgeries. He lied about everything. I would never want to put a lie out about myself to tarnish myself. That's insane. It's crazy. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, that's the point. Shout out to Key Possible. It says APT, it's an attention grab. ATP, what's an attention grab? Key Possible says not telling people you have kids and denying them is two different things. That's what I said. Two completely different things. Underhanded tactic, but to me, it puts Drake up. I think it proves what Kendrick has been saying about Drake this whole entire time, when he's been basically telling people that Drake lacks morals, Drake lacks integrity. Like, how can you have integrity when you just did that? Like, that's showing that you lack integrity. With all due respect. With all due respect. So I think Kendrick's whole thing is that Drake doesn't have morals. He doesn't have integrity. He's not like us. Camilla says he reserves the right to defend himself, most definitely, because his beef is super wild. However, this so-called manipulation is giving colonizer behavior. Yeah. I think he proved Kendrick right. I think he proved them right. I don't know what you mean by that, Fareed. What do you mean by a lie? I don't care who tell it. What up, Astro? He says Drake lost. I think Drake lost. That's my opinion. I'm allowing everybody in here that is a Drake fan to propose their reason why they don't think Drake lost. The only thing they could come up with is that Kendrick Lamar said something that wasn't true. But Drake and his people told him to lie. So to me, that gives Kendrick a complete out. So y'all need to tell me a different reason, with all due respect. We got 47 people in here. Let's hit that like button. We could get up to 20 likes. We could get up to 20 likes. Hit that like button. That's my opinion. You can't call out a nigga for saying a lie about you that you told them. Can somebody explain that to me? You told them to lie. How are you going to call a nigga out for saying something that's not true that you told them? They just making up anything. Why would you bait those allegations on yourself? Fam, fam, they're trying to discredit Kendrick's real information by giving him information that wasn't true. What I'm saying is, the simple fact that they told him the information that wasn't true, you can't now use that information that he said that wasn't true against him, because he got it from the people who he's speaking about. He didn't get the information from somewhere else, which then would need for a fact check. He got the information directly from the people who he's speaking about, who lied about said information. So who are you fact checking against? There is no fact checking to do. That's manipulation. I think Kendrick is up. The Heart of the Six wasn't enough damage control for the claims. That's all it was. I don't think the Heart of the Six was not. No, it's the heart. It's the heart. What the fuck? It's the heart. Shout out to Ben Roman with the next $5 drop. He says they up 15. Oh, Ben Roman is on the stage in the saloon. He's singing all of the Drake classics. He said, Kendrick Lamar, you might have those bars for the slaves, to free the slaves, but you don't have those bars to make them peoples tap their feet. Shout out to Ben Roman. Drake's people are in the chat. They up 15-0. Is anybody pulling up to the saloon to defend Kendrick? Astro said lyrically, he beat him with wordplay. I'm with you. I think Kendrick is winning in the actual battle. Drake is winning in the room right now. But in the actual battle, Kendrick, I believe he's winning. I don't know what to tell you. But right now, in our room, in our BBN Morning Coffee, Drake is up 15-0. What up, Tyson Garcia? Salute. If you do a drop, also, you have to let me know what side you on, Drake or Kendrick. He's in the saloon right now, ready to fight a nigga. Yes, Kendrick did make the hit song, but we talk. Okay, so we're having two conversations in here for everybody that don't get. We're having the regular conversation that's about what's happening in the music industry, and we're having the conversation that's about the supporters of the platform that's here right now talking about Drake and talking about Kendrick. So we had 3 $5 drops in support of Kendrick, in support of Drake, So right now, as far as the chat is concerned, Drake is up. Kendrick is down. Ben Roman is bragging. He said, I'm in the saloon destroying it. Now, since nobody pulling up, champagne poppy still. Just so we could be clear about what's happening. Key Possible says, I came up in the Rakim era. Back then, when you beefed, we wasn't looking at no catchy tunes. We looked at credibility, lyrical execution, and Drake don't hold the candle to Kendrick. I'm agreeing, by the way. Also, we got 49 people in here. Come on, we can get to 25 likes. Hit that like button. So I want to be clear about something. Drake is not a battle rapper. I know y'all think Drake is a battle rapper because he's always throwing shots at people and he says slick lines. But Drake is not a battle rapper. He wasn't a battle rapper when he beat Meek. He wasn't a battle rapper when he lost the Pusha. He's never been a battle rapper. Ever. In no history or iteration of what he does. Kendrick is a battle rapper. With all due respect. What up, Buddy Lee? He says Drake got cooked. His response was a white flag. I think that his response was a white flag also because he didn't come at Kendrick in no way. He just said you have bad information and these things that you said about me are lies. That's it. That's it. And then he reiterated some of the things he said before. I don't think he has anything to go at Kendrick with other than that baby might not be yours and you beat your woman. He doesn't have anything else. Kendrick has a damn portfolio of shit that he's saying about Drake. J. Cole knew what was about to happen, to his credit. I think that Drake Cole's Astro says J. Cole knew what was going to happen, to his credit. I think that J. Cole was contacted by maybe it doesn't even have to be by Kendrick's people, but by some individuals that said, nah, we need you to step to the side because Kendrick about to get busy. I think all of the rappers were contacted, not just him. I think also Fat Boy down there in Florida was contacted, just so we could be clear. I think they were all told to step to the side so Kendrick could hand them his ass whooping. Remember, Fat Boy dropped the verse, and then he ain't dropped no more. Drake, Tyson Garcia says, first of all, Key Possible says he went on the defensive. Absolutely. Tyson Garcia says, Drake. See, look what freaking Tissa Tales just put up. I think these people watch my page, though. If they do, shout out to Tissa Tales. I fucks with you. Drake lied about Daughter and Mo. Kendrick is exonerated. Fam, you cannot hold Kendrick responsible because Drake's team and Drake lied to him and he believed it. You have to hold the liar accountable. Like, I'm going to tell you something, and there's a reason why I feel away. You know how frustrating it is when somebody lies on you, and then the people find out the person lied on you, but they still mad at you because of the way you reacted to the lie? How, nigga? Tyson Garcia says, Drake, why were you texting a 15-year-old Millie Bobby Brown, sir? Nasty work. Nasty, nasty work. There's no reason in the world that Drake should have been texting her. That's the fact. I got a thing to say also. Ben Bowman says Drake dropped the Heart of the Six last night. Yeah, and it was mid to me. I'm sorry, it was mid. It was mid. It was mid, fam. Key Possible says a lot of people favor rappers and politicians are texting underage girls. That's a fact. There's a lot of teachers right now going to jail for texting underage kids. And all of the teachers seem to be freaking females also, by the way. All of these teachers that most of these, it seems like all of these teachers that sleeping with these kids is freaking women. All of them. It's like a week we hear about 2 or 3 women that's out there sleeping with 14 and 15 years olds. But why are men always being treated like we're the creeps? A man can't even say anything to a young girl. Like, excuse me, I saw this young girl let me tell you what happened yesterday in the supermarket. I'm in the supermarket. Some little kids walked past me. The older little kid ain't even watching the other 2 little kids that they're with. So the little kid drops like some kind of yogurt or something that comes with like candy on top of it. One of the candies fall out of the package, falls on the floor. The little kid picks up the thing and then gets ready to pick the candy up and put the candy in her mouth. Me, just in dad mode, not even fucking thinking, go and knock the damn, I don't knock it out, but I take the candy from the little girl before she could put it in her fucking mouth. And then I catch myself and I look around and I'm like, I could just imagine what people are going to say about me now. But I would not have felt comfortable as a freaking adult watching that little girl eat that candy off the fucking supermarket floor. Thank you for saying that, Trojan, man. I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. And it's not right, but let's be real, it's a lot of pedos in the industry. What has Corey Haim, Corey Feldman been telling y'all for years? Come on, man. We got 40-something people in the chat. We could get to 20, we could get to 25 likes. Hit that like button. Ben Roman says people forget Drake got Wayne on his squad and Wayne cool with Eminem. They don't want Drake having features in his diss tracks. Stop. You can't have features in your diss tracks, man. You can't. He's gonna go ask for help. So he's gonna go ask for help. Just so we could be clear, Ben Roman, who wrote that? So Ben Roman, you think Drake should go ask Wayne and Eminem for help? But you also think Drake is winning, correct? So hold on, just so we can be clear. You think that he should ask for help, but you also think he's winning? And not only should he ask for help, but he should ask for help by Wayne or Eminem. But you also think he's winning. Let's get to Trojan Man's comment real quick. Fam, I'm just reading your comment. You saying these things, not me. Fam, look, I'm going to read his comment again. People forget Drake got Wayne on his squad and Wayne cool with Eminem. They don't want Drake having features on his diss tracks. So just so we could be clear, you yourself are admitting that Drake needs some help. And not only does he need help, but you named 2 of the best rappers ever in the history of hip-hop. So you think that he needs to go get top tier help. You said it, fam, not me. At the time when Drake was on stage with the 17-year-old girl, he was 23. Right, just for full context. I'm not giving him a pass. I'm just giving full context. All right, so let's get to this dude's comment real quick. It was a good comment. Shout out to Trojan. Let's get to Trojan Man's comment real quick. Hold on. Let me scroll. Trojan Man says, Drake made fun of K. Dot about getting graped. Who does that? So Drake makes fun about K. Dot because K. Dot is free to slaves. So I'm assuming Drake does not want slaves freed, right? Why would you make fun about somebody wanting to free the slaves if you are a person who wants the slaves freed, right? I don't think Harriet Tubman was making fun of the people who were trying to free slaves. I don't think she was making fun of slaves neither. So Drake is either making fun of slaves or making fun of people trying to free the slaves. Isn't that the same shit that your man K. Dot is criticizing him for in the first place? So besides making fun of slaves and or people who are trying to free the slaves, Drake is also making fun of people who have been victims of grape. That's what he did. He factually did that, by the way. Drake supporters, y'all got any explanation for that? Put it in the chat. Trojan Man wants to know if y'all got any explanation for that. I kind of do also. Also, Outside In said Kendrick said he didn't get touched as a kid in the song that Drake referenced. So in the song that Drake is referencing, saying that he got touched, in that song, you're telling me that Kendrick said that he didn't get touched? So Drake already had the information that he didn't get touched? So Drake is just making fun of people who are great victims, if that's the truth. Right? Right? Ben Roman says, no, Drake doesn't need the help, but they can jump on the line like Future or Metro Boomin did. All right. I'm just saying. Why not 20v3 instead of 20v1? No. Just so we could be clear. Right now it's one-on-one. It's Kendrick and Drake. Everybody else that's saying anything is just simply in the crowd. When you battle rapping, sometimes the crowd yells at you. They're in the crowd. It's 1v1. Mac says, and Drake did blackface. Okay, do y'all got any excuse for the blackface? I'm curious. I'm hoping so bad that somebody pulls up in the saloon to come fight you, fam. Not just because, I'm going to benefit monetarily. We already know that. But I have so many funny things to say. So I'm hoping somebody pulls up into the saloon to fight you. Because I have a lot of funny things to say if people start pulling up. For you and for them, just so we can be clear. Outside In said, ain't no 20v1. Drake just don't want to respond to K. Dot personally because he don't got shit. I agree. Ben Roman says Drake could have gone worse than what he could have said. He gonna get him graped again. I don't think that that's a thing that we should joke about. I think that that's the point we're trying to make in the chat. Also, K. Dot said that he didn't get graped. So if K. Dot didn't get graped, that means Drake is just making fun of grape victims. You get it? Anytime he is truly... a large percentage of Drake's fan base are gay people LGBTQ people, and women. So there's probably a really large percentage of people who are part of Drake's fan base who have gotten raped. I don't think that's the way he should be going. But whatever you want to do. Any other time he is truly his mother's son with the colonizing mindset that he has. Interesting. Key Possible said that. Ben Roman said the gloves are off. Any content is fair game. Okay. Max says you don't do blackface and you got a white moms. I don't think you do blackface at all. Just to be clear. I don't care what. I don't care if you black. You shouldn't be doing blackface. Is that cool? If you get what I'm saying, I don't think the small window that makes blackface possibly funny ain't worth it. That's the part in which I'm trying to make. Point in which I'm trying to make. Fareed says either way is fun. I mean, either way is crazy. Key Possible said, right, this dude is in full on blackface. Outside In said the song he says, family ties, they accused my cousin. Did he touch you, Kendrick? Never lied, but no one believed me when I said he didn't. Oh, so there was a lie that said that he did, and Kendrick tried to tell him that he didn't, but nobody believed him. Okay, so that part. So once again, you can't make fun of people who are great victims. That's a terrible thing that can happen to anyone. I don't think that we should make fun of victims of that particular situation. I don't think that there's any humor there. I don't even like when people laugh about the shit when people go to jail. And they got that video where two dudes start dancing, and then one of the dudes kind of looks over his shoulder and see how the other dude is looking at the other dude. And that dude stops dancing, and then the two dudes is laughing while the guy is in front of him shaking his butt and all that shit. And I get it. We look at that and we find it funny. Right? And I'm not going to lie. I'd be lying if I say that I didn't get a giggle out of that, at least the first time that I saw it. But that's not the energy that we should be having. Grape is never funny. And it needs to be taken a little bit more seriously. And I think because we have this movement going on in America where people are just deciding that they all anything, like, I recognize myself as a porch or some shit. I think that that bites away at our humanity. And I think that that humanity is being stripped away from you. And that's one of the things that they strip you of when you go to prison, the humanity. So I think it's crazy to be out here laughing at anybody that has been great, possibly could be great. I don't think that those are things to find humor in, but that's me. I'm not telling you what to do. Facts. Fareed says facts. That's not a good thing. What up, Fire Chief? Not sure what you're laughing at. I would love to know. Drake also coming at the Short Kings. I just want to say something that I find absolutely hilarious. And not for the reason that other people might think it is. But the shit that he's saying about Kendrick Lamar is the type of shit that little kids snap on each other about at after school in the playground. Like, he's saying playground shit. Your mama's so fat she jumped in the air and got stuck. He's saying shit like that, Drake. And Kendrick Lamar is just saying bars that it's taking niggas days to be able to decipher. So these are just two different people operating at two different levels. I don't think Drake's has the potential to be able to go bar for bar with Kendrick. Kendrick could say 4 bars that can outdo 12 of Drake's. Sister Helper says it wasn't enough. Key Possible says Drake says and Don some sus shit. I think a lot of things that Drake says is sus. Camilla says, thank you for the platform for healthy convo. I got to go homeschool my son. Much love. Pray this rap beefs helps clean up the culture. I think that is one of the reasons. Shout out to Camilla. Camilla said, thank you for the platform for healthy convo. Always trying to have healthy conversation. We kick people that don't want to have healthy conversation, just so we can be clear. That's why people get kicked, because they're trying to have toxic conversation, and I don't care for it. Says, I got to go homeschool my son now. Much love. Pray this rap helps clean up the culture. I think that's why the other rappers stepped aside, so Kendrick can go at Drake, because a lot of people perceive Drake as being a problem in the culture. I'm just saying what it is. Once again, for everybody that don't know, Euphoria, that is the Kendrick diss back at Drake. That's like 1 or 2 on Spotify or Apple Music up in Canada. So in Canada, they got that shit on fucking repeat. Key Possible says, if I found out some dude in his 30s is texting my 16-year-old daughter, it'd be hell to pay. But since it's Drake, no one sees anything wrong with it. 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. So a couple of months ago, that was like last year sometime. I forgot when it was. I go to, I'm not going to say what donut shop it is, but I go to a donut shop. And so this is an of-age female. She was working in a donut shop. So I go to the donut shop, and it was during school hours. I need to just preference all of this because of weirdos. So it was during school hours also. So she was 100%, just so we can be clear, 100% of age. So I go into the donut shop, and this was like maybe a year and a half ago. I go for some strange reason. Anyway, so I go into the donut shop. I get buy coffee. I buy a donut. Homegirl gives me her number, not her number, her Instagram, right? I didn't really even say anything. I wasn't shooting no game. Nothing. It wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't shooting no game. I wasn't doing nothing. I just walked in. I was chopping it up with her, whatever, during my order. I was saying some funny shit by accident. I guess it was flirting, but I really wasn't trying to flirt. It was just being me. In any regard, she gives me her information. I get her information. I leave out the spot. Obviously, I'm feeling good. And then I go look at her Instagram, and her Instagram is just her doing young girl shit. So before I even looked to see what the age was, because I already knew she was of age. Before I even looked to see what the age was, I was like, this isn't for me. So yeah, any 30-year-old texting a 16-year-old, how, nigga? She was like 22, by the way. But how, nigga? Like how? What can y'all have in common? Fuck, what can y'all have in common? How can your area in life be anywhere near her area in life that even if y'all didn't have anything in common, y'all could do things together? How? She was like 22. And I did not try to scoop her, by the way. It was just regular conversation, and I was just like, yeah, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was an accident. It was like, you know what I'm saying? But I got a number. She was like 22 or whatever. Never contacted her. She was super cutie and all that. Never contacted her. Because I looked at her Instagram. How? We don't have nothing. Like, I don't know what I would talk to you about. I wouldn't. I'd feel ashamed going anywhere with you. Because we're going to look like, even though you're in your 20s, we're going to look like it just not. I just wouldn't feel appropriate. You understand what I'm saying? For all due respect. Anyway, Kendrick Lamar says poetic purpose with his, shout out to Ben Roman with the $5 drop. Ben Roman is in the saloon. He's yelling out the window at all of the Kendrick supporters. He said, y'all guys is talking all of your shit from outside. He then goes and he goes gets the donkey bags and he starts hurling the donkey bags off of the second porch, off of the porch of the saloon. For everybody that don't know, the saloon is a bar in 1860s. It's a saloon from the 1860s, and it's in the middle of the Wild Wild West. And so there's only one person that's pulled up to the saloon so far today, and that is Ben Roman. And he's dropped $20 in the saloon. He came in, he got himself a coffee. He sat down, he played some Drake features. And right now, he's standing on our porch, our balcony on the second floor, and he's hurling bags of animal feces, donkey bags, off of the back porch, off of the balcony at all of the Kendrick supporters. So Ben Roman is on Ben Roman is on the second floor, up on the balcony. The Kendrick supporters outside. None of them have dared to come into the saloon yet. It's $5 to get in the saloon, by the way. None of them have dared to come in the saloon yet. He's hurling donkey bags at them as they're shouting at him from across the street. He's saying, take that, all of the ditties. Shout out to Ben Roman Salute with the $5 drop, pulling up to the saloons. If they not gonna come inside, I'm gonna have you assaulting them from the outside, while they standing outside. Yeah, no, that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't make sense. Fam, just explain. It didn't even make sense. It didn't even make sense. It just didn't make sense. I don't know what to tell you. It just, she was like 22, 23 or some shit like that. It just, how the hell was it gonna make sense, man? That's why I keep trying to say, a lot of these young girls, especially in they early to mid 20s, a lot of them, what's happening, let's have this conversation real quick and then we're gonna get back to the chat. But what's happening is this: we have handicapped our young men. We've handicapped them because the way that our society is going, it's making it so hard for young men to make a way in the world. It's making it so hard. I keep seeing this shit online where they asking young women, or asking women if they were in the forest, what would they want to walk up on, a bear or a man, and they're all choosing the bear. That bear gonna straight up kill you. The fuck you think a bear is? A bear is an apex predator. You can't even run away from a bear. Do y'all understand that? You can't beat a bear in a foot race. And they're saying they either come up against a bear than a man. If you're in the middle of the forest and you bump into a man, you know 9 times out of 10 he's gonna be a park ranger. What kind of men you hang out in the fucking forest? But the way our society currently is, it's just anti-male. And our young men are suffering due to this. So our young women are suffering. They don't even have people that are of equal age of them to really even get into a relationship to build a family. It's more beneficial for a female that's in her mid-20s to date a nigga that's 7, 8 years older than her if she wants to be able to get her life going. Because the way that the world is right now, it's just stepping on men. This patriarchy y'all keep talking about don't exist in the way that y'all explaining it that it does. And then if you add that to the fact that a lot of these dudes right now, whether they are, openly gay or not, are gay. These young girls don't got nobody to choose from. They got to go get with a nigga who is in the street might go to jail, might get killed. Get with a nigga that don't have no aspiration in life, that have no, he's been beat down by society, beat down by family, beat down by the streets, that he ain't doing nothing. These are the majority of their choices. Now, I'm not shitting on nobody. I'm just saying what it is. Let's get back to what we're talking about. Because we got to say what it is. We out here, y'all bashing these women all of the time for making bad decisions. We bash these women all of the time for having 3 and 4 and 5 baby daddies. But what choices do they really have? And a lot of their aunts ain't helping them. Because they're telling them they're trying to stay, they chasing after the same men. So they're giving them all the worst advice. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. Jay Taylor says, J. Cole thought about it and said, man, I'm 40 years old. I ain't got no time for this foolishness. I'm on J. Cole time. I wouldn't have had no time for this foolishness either, fam. I'm just keeping it a stack with you. Key Possible says, right? No, 30-year-old man have nothing in common with a 16-year-old. Not just nothing in common. There's no reason. It's not a, it don't make sense. Now, I'm not saying, first of all, if homegirl is 16 years old, what is she doing to be in the company of a 30-year-old man that her family isn't bringing around? Now, if you, I want to get into this is a whole conversation for a different day. I promise you, because I got a lot to say about this. I have a lot to say about this. So this is a whole conversation for a different day. But my point is this. This is my main point. I think families need to go back to stop having your daughter go out there and find a man and you find a man for your daughter. I think we need to get back to that. I think we have to start getting back closer to not arranged marriages, but something along those lines. I think we need to get back to that. That's what I think we need to get back to. What's so respectful, Key Possible? I'm sorry it took me a minute to get down here. What up, Fire Chief? This is Kendrick. Kendrick's up, fam. I don't care what nobody say. I believe he's up. He's not up in the chat, though. In our chat, Drake is up 20 to zip. The only one that's in the saloon right now is Ben Roman, and he's throwing donkey bags off of the second floor, hitting all of the Kendrick supporters that's outside. Dookie grenades. That's what he's doing. Ben Roman says, oh, it's just a cheek clapping, was not looking for no relationship with a 19-year-old. We had nothing in common besides sex and smoking trees. Key Possible says, I'm blocking you, Ben. I don't bash women for their baby daddies when I got 5 baby mamas. He lives in basically in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, the age of consent is 16. So being mad at a 32-year-old man for dating an 18-year-old when she's already of age, I'm not going to be here wasting my time doing that. If a female is of age, she has the right to date whoever she wants to date. What I'm saying is that we have to steer our women away from, our young girls specifically, away from some of the content that tells them that, you know, they need to be out there just having sex at a young age instead of out there looking for a man that's going to be able to provide and learning the skills so that they can be a good wife or a good helper or a good mate. I think that we have to start instilling in our youth and our young boys the self-control and honor, where our young boys are also going out there and trying to understand that they have to be able to take care of a family, that they have to be able to lead a family, that they have to be able to guide a family. I don't think our young boys are, that's not even a thought in their brain. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that we need to go back to a more conventional state of living. I think that we need to, this isn't all on females and this ain't all on males. This is, we have to come to a consensus. Who sounds gross? Key Possible said you sound gross. Who sound gross? Please at the person so I don't think you're talking about me. Please at the person. You see him atting you? Please at them. So no, I was immediately not going to do anything with the homegirl that was 22. But if I would have, but just so we can be clear, if I would have met her and she would have looked like she was in a position where she wanted to have a family, because that's important to me. If she looked like she wanted to have kids, because that's important to me. If she looked like she didn't want to be in the street, going out and partying every now and then, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that you should take your woman out at least, once a week, if, financially possible. I think once a week, you and your woman should have a day out the house and a day in the house at minimum. Like 2 days off, right? You work a regular job, there's 2 days off. I think one of those days should be spent with you going out there and celebrating each other. And I think another one of those days should be spent with you in the house, if y'all got kids or whatever y'all doing, where y'all doing family stuff. If you don't have kids yet, you're still doing family stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's one of the things that, will help out and it's good. I think that we need to get a little bit back. We need to get closer back to, how do you say, we need to be more conservative. I think they just tricked y'all. When I say y'all, I'm not talking about you people in the chat specifically. I'm just talking about what's going on. No, and never looking at a female like a piece of meat. The shorty that I'm super interested in now, one of the main reasons why I'm interested in her is because I think she's a good person. Like, she just happens to be really pretty. But I think she's a good person. I think she has a good heart. She just happens to be really, really pretty. That's a plus. But I think she's a good person. I think she has a good heart. That's important to me. With that being said, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Key Possible. I think you just got called out. I'm not saying nothing, though. I'm minding my business. But if you do pull up in the saloon, it's going to be a fight. I'm just letting you know. If you do pull up in the saloon, especially because of the hostility that y'all already have towards each other, it's going to, you pull up in the saloon to slap the shit out of this nigga. For lack of a better term. If you do pull up in the saloon, you are pulling up and you will be slapping the shit out of this nigga. He knows that, by the way. I don't think she knows the Cash App. So put the Cash App in the chat if you're gonna challenge her. Anything else y'all want to speak about on this? Put it in the chat. Let me know. Because I done went off the rails already. What time is it? I don't went off the rails already. Anything else y'all want to talk about this? Put it in the chat. I don't think she knows any of the ways to donate. I also didn't force the 319. Oh, wowzers. I'm looking younger, ain't I? Even with the beard and all that, I'm looking younger. I don't think she even knows what the Cash App is, man. In any regard, anything else y'all want to speak on this, or anything else? Anything else y'all want to speak on? We might do it. We might do a show tonight. A lot of people been asking about the saloon. I'm feeling comfortable doing the saloon. We might do a show tonight. I think God's been mad at me because I don't open up channels for him to bless me more. So we might do, I got to open up channels for to get more blessings, because that's literally how that works. So I got to open up channels to get more blessings. So I think we're going to start doing the show at night. I don't know if it's going to be at 9. It might be earlier than 9, but I think we're going to start doing the tonight show or evening show. One of the two. One of the two. Anything else y'all want to speak on? Put it in the chat. Shout out to everybody that hit that like button. I do want to say this though, right? I don't know if Kendrick should respond back. I think the 2 songs that Kendrick has already put out is doing such incredible numbers that even if he has a response that he plans on dropping, he should wait. From a financial standpoint, until Drake does something that makes it so it makes sense. Because right now, from a financial standpoint, the songs that he put out is doing numbers. And they're better, at least because of the numbers that his song is doing, and because of the numbers that Drake is doing, they're better. What you mean it's too watered down? Explain, Matt. It's better. Like Kendrick responses is getting better reception than Drake's responses. Everybody forget also. So there's a show called Euphoria. I've never seen it. Right? The reason why I never seen it is because I don't generally watch shows that's about teenagers having sex. I don't know what anybody else is doing. I don't generally watch shows that's about teenagers having sex. I'm gonna tell you how real it is. When I was in my 20s, there was this show that movie that had came out called Kids. Right? So I had never seen it. So I had a homeboy, I believe his name was Troy. So he we used to go to his crib, play video games and shit. So he's like, yo, you gotta see the show, this movie. It's called Kids. Y'all know what Kids is. I know y'all do. I know a couple of y'all saw it. It's like, yo, you gotta watch this shit called Kids. Yo, this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. And they was always telling me about it, but I never saw it. So I go to his crib one day and we have like a watch party. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, we used to all go there and hang out. So it's probably about 8 of us, a couple of chicks. You know what I'm saying? And so we watch Kids. And it's basically about, I guess, it was like 18, 19 or whatever. Like 18, 19 or something, whatever. I mean, pardon, about 15, 16. I don't know how young they were supposed to be, but little kids. And the whole show was about doing drugs and having sex. And in my 20s, I only seen it once ever. I felt uncomfortable watching this show. I felt uncomfortable with them sexualizing these babies. I've only seen that show once. And to be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't have never finished the show, the movie, if not for we was at like a watch party. I would have never finished it. I would have turned the shit off. That's not for me, with all due respect. So I've never seen Euphoria. I do know that it has a homegirl in it, Mary MJ from the Spider-Man movies, Zendaya. I know she's in it. But I don't find her attractive. I think visually she's very pretty. But when I look at Zendaya, she's not attractive to me. She looks like she has a prepubescent body. That's not attractive to me. She's extremely pretty and she's cute, but she like does zero for the Johnson. Nothing. I've never looked at her and thought any sexual thought. So I've never saw Euphoria. Now, just so we can be clear, it's about minors, sex and drugs, and Drake is a producer. Now do you understand why the name of his song was Euphoria? It also premiered on June 16. I liked one freaking photo of Jenna Ortega on Instagram. I'm telling y'all right now, and it was a Wednesday. I like the show Wednesday. It's good. I like the Addams Family. I was always, when the Addams Family movies first came out, me and the girl that plays Wednesday, we're like the same age. So when the Addams Family movie first came out, the movie, I was basically like, we're the same age, basically. So I had a crush on her. I like big forehead girls. I ain't gonna lie to you. It is what it is. I had a crush on her, but we were the same age. So when the Wednesday show came out, I watched it, and I think it's a good show. I think it got good writers. I don't like that they always trying to play into every show that come out now. They try to play into the girl on girl or the boy on boy thing. Like, that don't make sense to me, because I lived a really long period of my life where that was never a thing. You understand what I'm saying? I think that they're just, it's not in every element of everything on the planet in any regard. So I liked one photo on Instagram of the damn Jenna Ortega girl. Shout out to her, good actress. And for about a week or 2 weeks, that's all that came through my feed. Like, Instagram forced her into my feed. I start taking the likes because they would show me shit. Like it's Wednesday. So I was like, oh, I like that. Boom, it's Wednesday. Oh, yeah, I like that show. Boom, it's Wednesday. Because I hit like on every show that I watch that I like. I had to start, and so it took me about a month, and then I don't have to see the girl every 5 minutes now. So shout out to that shit. But if y'all remember, I was laughing about the shit. Like, what the fuck? I like 3 photos. 4 photos, all Wednesday photos. So if y'all gonna keep showing me Wednesday shit, let's go. But I don't, stop showing me shit about doing other stuff. Stay away from my girl, Fro. She's got 5 head. I like big forehead girls. And the Wednesday from the Addams Family movies, I forget her name. I start watching all of the movies with her in it. I had a crush on Homegirl. I'm just keeping it a stack with you. They got this movie called Pumpkin, where she like works with a person that has a learning disability, and then she falls in love with the person, and then she like seduces the person, and then like it's funny. It's called Pumpkin. Go check it out. I forgot her name though. What's her name? Christina Ricci. Christina Ricci. So go check it out. Christina Ricci is in it. It's called Pumpkin. It's funny as heck. I promise you it's funny. I had a big crush on Christina Ricci. And she's a whole redhead, which a redhead basically means orange hair. And on the show, I think she's a redhead. And I got a thing for redheads also. It is what it is. I like orange hair on a woman. It is what it is, fam. I'm gonna tell you what it is, fam. I ain't gonna lie to you. It don't work for all women, but some women it works. Even some black women, just so we can be clear. So I don't want nobody to be like, think it's a thing. No. Even for black women, it works. Hey, Ben Roman, she said that she's gonna pull up to the saloon. She said, give her a minute. She at work. I don't know how much longer we gonna be live. Theory, if the daughter doesn't exist, is it possible that Kendrick was speaking about a forced abortion by Drake? Let me read the whole sentence. Is it possible that Kendrick was subs? I don't know. I'm just going to call them subs. Theory, if daughter doesn't exist, is it possible that Kendrick was speaking about a forced abortion by Drake and he was speaking of a potential daughter that was never born? This is why. And then it comes to the next one directly after he says Drake should never say more life. No, as far as I can tell, Drake is saying that they gave him false information about a fake daughter, just so we can be clear. So if you lie to a person, we should hold the liar accountable, not the person that was lied to. So I have to excuse every bar that Kendrick made referring to that situation, because the person he's talking about is the one who told the lie. He didn't get the information from somewhere else. He got the information from Drake and from Drake's people. That's who he got the information from. So how are you so I don't think he should be held accountable. We're gonna hold Drake accountable for the bar against his own damn self. First of all, Super Saiyan Guts. Are you a grown man? Because grown men don't necessarily use that terminology. Also, so you're saying that if we don't agree with you on Drake, that means that we're glazing Kendrick? It sounds like manipulation to me. It sounds to me like you don't have any position or any point that you can make on your own to defend Drake. So you're trying to make it seem like there's something wrong with defending Kendrick. Third, we have Ben Roman in here, and he is a supporter of Drake's, and he's been in the chat, and he's been lively all morning, and he's also been donating all morning. So I'm thinking, even if I am a supporter of Kendrick, which I'm talking about lyrics, and I prefer the songs that Kendrick has dropped over Drake, I obviously have been pretty fair to both sides. So why would you even speak to somebody who's being fair to the person who you favor in such a manner? It sounds to me like you're having an emotional outbreak at this moment, and you should probably be a little bit less emotional, like Ben Roman and the rest of the people in the chat that's talking about this. But if you want to be emotional, nobody can stop you. Be as emotional as you want. It sounds like you have a male name, but you're just letting all of your emotions out. Maybe you need it. Maybe you need to just let everybody know how emotional you are in a moment that you shouldn't really have too much of an emotional attachment to. You know what that says. I'm just saying. No, he didn't take the bait. He was lied to. What are you talking about, taking the bait? He was lied to. How are you holding somebody accountable for believing a lie that a person is basically given to you from themselves? You sound crazy right now. You sound absolutely insane. You want to hold the victim accountable, but not the victimizer. You sound like one of those people that favor the victimizer over the person who's the actual victim. That sounds to me like that's a you issue, not a me issue. Tell me how I'm being biased. Oh, so you don't have any points. You're just saying more emotional shit. You're being biased. That sounds like you're being emotional. I don't know. Kendrick looked pretty emotional to me on the grams. I don't think he's looking emotional at all. He took the bait. It sounds to me like you're just speaking from an emotional standpoint. Shout out to Ben Roman for coming in here, thinking something different than what I think, but also having the intellectual capacity to be able to state it in such a manner that we can have a conversation instead of just being emotional, making it impossible for us to have an actual conversation about it. So shout out to Ben Roman for having, how are you going to do research on a lie that the liar that is lying is telling on themselves? How are you going to do research? You're going to go ask the person that's telling you the lie about the lie that they're telling on themselves? It sounds like manipulation. I'm going to not entertain anything else you're saying because you're just talking from an emotional standpoint. And we're having a great chat in here with people who are talking over the full spectrum of the conversation and not just talking from an emotional standpoint, trying to get a reaction out of me. It looks like you're just trying to get a reaction out of me. No, that's what women do when they get into an argument with you, not for nothing. They don't try to win the conversation. They just try to get an emotional response out of you. That's a feminine trait. So you're just exhibiting feminine traits right now, and I don't want to deal with it. So you can comment all you want. I'm just, as long as you're not saying nothing disrespectful, you can comment all you want. I'm just not responding back to any more of your feminine conversations. Even the women in here haven't been talking from such a feminine standpoint. So I don't know if you are a woman or not, but even the women in here haven't been talking as feminine as you just displayed in your few comments that you've put up. So shout out to everybody that's been in here that have been supporters of Kendrick or supporters of Drake. And we've been able to have a conversation in here and not get into a full-blown emotional outburst like you have in the very few comments that you have decided to make. Sub says, also listen to what Drake said. We knew you'd take the Epstein angle. Why would you know that? Like, why would you, exactly? Why would you know somebody would take the Epstein angle? Shout out to Subs. He said, shout out to Subs with the $5 drop. Uh-oh. You have a Kendrick supporter in the freaking room now, in the saloon. That's not a debate. That's not a debate. You're not debating, fam. Stop. You're not debating. You're not debating, fam. Stop. You're not debating. You're not debating. Tell me your point. Tell me your point. You're not debating. You're having a whole emotional. Who in here thinks that Super Saiyan Guts is being emotional or debating? Put it in the chat. I want to know. Debate or emotional? What is he doing? Now you're saying the Most High's name. You're blaspheming the Most High. So we already know what type of time you're on. Shout out to Subs. He says, also listen to what he said. We knew you'd go to Epstein route. How? Unless the truth is Drake is telling on himself. Subs comes up into the saloon. Ben Roman is on the second floor. He's on the balcony. He's still throwing donkey bags out the window. Subs sneaks up to the door. He peeks through the door. He sees Subs. He sees Ben Roman out there throwing the donkey throwing the donkey bombs, throwing the donkey bags off of the second floor terrace. He says, I got you right there, you rat bastard. He walks in, he puts a glove on his hand. He picks up one of the donkey bags. He says, hey, Ben. Ben turns around. He winds up like this. He kicks one of his legs into the air like this. He's winding up. He throws the donkey bag. It hits Ben Roman dead in the face. Ben Roman hit dead in the face. He falls over backwards, over the side of the balcony. He falls into the muck, face down. He looks up, and all he can see is the front door of the saloon. He's like, oh, man, you rat bastard. Shout out to Subs pulling up in the saloon and saying, I'm not taking no more of this Kendrick's hates. 21 Mob says, Kendrick didn't even mention Epstein. He only spoke about Harvey Weinstein. No, Drake mentioned Epstein. Drake mentioned Epstein. What are you talking about, 21 Mob? Nobody said, I don't even know if Kendrick mentioned Epstein. Did Kendrick mention Epstein? Drake mentioned Epstein. Ben Roman with the $8 drop. Shout out to Ben Roman with the $8 drop. Ben Roman gets up out of the muck and mire. He goes like this with his hands. He throws the donkey that hits him in the face and all of the mud that's in his eyes. He throws it to the side. He looks up. He sees Subs leaning over the balcony like this, laughing. He looks up at him. Subs' eyes is closed for 2 split seconds. He still has the donkey bag in his hand. Ben Roman. He takes the donkey bag. He throws the donkey bag straight up. The donkey bag hits Subs dead in the mouth. It explodes. Some of it goes down his throat. Subs is like, he's coughing. He's going like this. He's saying Elizabeth. He's turning around like this on the balcony. He falls over the side of the back of the balcony. As he's falling down, he's coming down. Ben Roman jumps up and knees him dead in the gut. So as he's falling off of the balcony, doing flips backwards over the balcony, when he's coming down, he's facing straight down. Ben Roman, at that point, runs up under him and gives him a knee straight to the gut. Shout out to Ben Roman as he stands over the top of Subs and he says, nigga, you got knocked the F out. Yes, Drake implied Kendrick went the Epstein route, but Kendrick never said Epstein's name. Drake did. So how in your comment, you said Kendrick didn't even, you said Kendrick didn't even mention Epstein. Pardon me, I misspoke. No, you're right. Pardon me, I misspoke. Pardon me, 21 Mob. I apologize. I misspoke. I read your comment wrong, obviously. Sub says, hey, Subs, if you want to continue to attack the guy, you got to keep pulling up. I'm just telling you. Right now, you laid out in the front of the saloon with with Ben Roman over the top of you, making fun of you after you just got kneed in the gut from falling off of the bounty with a whole bunch of donkey in your face and in your mouth. This is the saloon, fam. It's a whole fight. Sub says the main real point is Drake is not really the culture, but he's a great actor performer. Great Jake can't argue that. I think that is what the main point is. Elizabeth. Kendrick said Weinstein. Woo! So is Kendrick saying that Drake was having chicks do stuff with him in order to advance their career? Where's Sexy Red at? Hey, Subs, are you gonna let Ben Roman do that to you? I'm just saying, fam. We got a whole fight going on right now, It's between Subs and Ben Roman. We do not know if Subs is going to pull up again, but Ben Roman is currently standing over the top of him, screaming out Drake's name. Drake is up 28-5. That's the score. Drake is up 28-5 in the saloon right now. Drake is up 28-5. Somebody already said, 21 Mom said, yeah, Drake Subs is the one that's in the saloon. 21 Mom says, yeah, Drake implied Kendrick went the Epstein route, but never spoke on Epstein. I'm confused. And just so to be clear, Sub says, also listen to what he said. We know you go to Epstein route. How? Unless there's truth telling on himself. So Drake might be telling on himself. That's the point that Subs was just trying to make, I believe. That's the point he was trying to make, right, Subs? Subs says he can have it. Drake needs a W. No, I agree. I think both of you guys just made good points. I think 21 just made a good point, and I think that you just made a good point. We're having actual conversations over here while these other dudes want me to get into an emotional back and forth with them, and I don't care to do that. Ben Roman pulls back up to this. Ben Roman pulls up to the cash app with a $5 drop. Ben Roman leans down. He grabs Subs by his collar like this. He walks him back in the saloon. As he walks him back in the saloon, all of the muck and the mire and the dirt and everything. No, hold on. Drake is not winning in the battle. Drake is also not winning in the conversation. Just so we can be clear, you and Ben Roman are in a fight in the saloon right now. Are you listening? Other people who are supporters of Drake can also pull up besides Ben Roman, and other people who are supporters of Kendrick could also pull up besides you. But right now in the saloon, there's a fight going on. Have you just heard how you fell off the balcony? There's a fight going on in the saloon. And that fight, Drake is up. Because Drake supporters, before this last $5 drop, has dropped $28, while the Kendrick supporters have only dropped $5. So the Drake supporters are up 28-5. That's the only place where Drake is winning. So Ben Roman just dropped $5 more. So now he's about to attack you again. If you would like to attack him back in probably a very, very funny manner, then you can pull up to the Cash App, the Super Chat, and or the PayPal. If somebody would like to help Subs in this fight against Ben Roman, they can pull up. So just so we can be clear, that's what's going on. So Ben Roman with another $5 drop to the Cash App. He's about to attack you again. So while Ben Roman is on the outside of the saloon cheering, he drops $5. So his next attack is underway. Ben Roman reaches down. He grabs Subs by the shirt like this, and he starts dragging him back in the saloon. They get to the door. Throws him over his shoulder. He walks up to the bar. He throws one back. He sits Ben Roman in the chair. It's one of those chairs that go all the way around like this, but it don't got no back. It's a stool. He throws Subs in the stool. He said, Subs, This is for all the Kendrick fans. I mean, pardon me. This is for all the Drake fans. Because we're not sure if Kendrick is going to lose this battle. We're not sure if Drake is going to win it. But this is for all of the fans of Drake. He puts him in the stool. He turns the stool. The stool is going fast like this. Some of the shit that's inside of his mouth, inside of his body, starts coming out through his mouth. Then, Ben Roman pulls back like this. And he slaps him and leaves his hand there. So as he leaves his hand there, he's turning, the slap goes bang, and then he comes back around, bang, and then he comes back around, bang, and he comes back around, bang, and he comes back around. He does that about 10 times, and then he stops him and he grabs him like this, and he says, this is for all of the kids that we think that Drake did something to. And then he leans back and he gives them the Dusty Rhodes atomic elbow. Bang! As he elbows him in the forehead right here, a knot just comes up. A big ass knot right in the middle of his forehead. Shout out to Ben Roman. He says, I wasn't gonna just leave you. I was gonna leave you with the memories. I'll be like Drake and do a 20v1. I told people to come help, dude. But no, Drake is absolutely not winning in the actual rap. He's not winning there. Give me 1 minute, be right back. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Nobody's deflecting, fam. You're not saying anything worth responding back to when you're getting mad. I haven't even said anything to you. How could I be deflecting? These niggas don't even know what language sound means. I haven't even said anything to this guy, and he said I'm deflecting. I haven't said anything to you. What the fuck are you talking about? I said you be talking about emotional shit, and I don't want to talk about emotional shit. The fuck am I deflecting? Get out of here. Ben Roman says, Frost, you should honestly watch movies. I watch your movies for sure. You're hilarious. I want to just bring the saloon back. Let's have some fun doing that. And then after that, we can think about some stuff. Definitely a salute pulling up to the saloon this morning. We might do a Tonight Show tonight just because the saloon has been looking like it's, you know, if y'all ready for the saloon to come back, I'm ready for the Tonight Show to come back. Is that fair? Drake out here tasting street meat in Calabasas. I want to know how is it going to look for Drake the next time he tries to go to the Bay and have a show. That's what I want to know. If y'all going to start pulling up to the saloon, we're going to start having Tonight Shows. Is that fair? Phew, you don't even never pull up to the saloon. But yes, the Tonight Show would be lit. I'm not shitting on you, by the way. I'm just saying. Also, shout out to Ben Roman for being part of the green team. Salute. Appreciate that. We need way more green team people. But if y'all going to start pulling up to the saloon, then hell yeah, we're going to start doing the Tonight Show. I feel an obligation if y'all guys are pulling up to the saloon to do the Tonight Show. Also, I enjoy doing the Tonight Show at night more than I like doing the Tonight Show during the show. You saging the heart and subs here. Look, if we're gonna have people pulling up to the saloon, then I mean, we're gonna have a Tonight Show. I prefer doing the saloon at night. Everybody that don't know, the saloon is basically what it is. It's a saloon, it's a bar, and we're in the time period of 1860. So it's the Wild Wild West. So it's the Wild Wild West. Anything else y'all want to add of substance? I'll start bringing the saloon, but fam, if y'all gonna pull up to the saloon, then I'm gonna have the saloon. And if y'all gonna pull up to the saloon, then we got to bring back the Tonight Show. It is what it is. It is what it is. But this is what I've been saying. I've been saying this. And we're going to do the saloon. Remember, usually when there's a donation and then I do the saloon, don't anybody else donate. So we can't do the saloon. But if we're going to have people, when I'm doing the saloon, pull up to the saloon, then yeah, we got to do the saloon. And if we're doing a saloon, then we're absolutely going to do a Tonight Show. That's the best time to do the saloon, isn't it? And when we do the saloon in the morning, usually we just do breakfast. When we do the saloon at night, that's after I've had a whole day, my brain is going, and then I'm way more creative. So no, we're gonna have us. If y'all want a saloon at night, the best time to show me that we should have a tonight saloon is by pulling up and having a coffee with me in the morning. We could get 3 and 4 people to have a coffee in the saloon in the morning. We're gonna be having we get 4 to 5 people or something like that having a coffee, coming up to the saloon in the morning to get a coffee. Then yeah, we're gonna have a Tonight Show. What the hell? That's when y'all really want to pull up and have fun, right? Y'all gonna let the people who don't like you, who don't like me, to tell y'all how to treat me, or y'all gonna treat me based on what y'all like to do over here? That's all it is. If y'all gonna let the people who don't like me tell y'all how to treat me, instead of we like when Frost do this, we like when Frost do that, let's encourage that. I don't know what to tell you. Ben Roman says, salute Frost, have a great day. I'm about to visit my homie at the hospital. It was a vicious car accident. I'll tune in later or I'll holler at you on the gram. I hope your homeboy is doing well. We might have a Tonight Show tonight. And if we do, you're having it because of you. You might have a Tonight Show tonight. I enjoy doing the saloon fit. It is what it is. Hope your homie get well soon. And tell him Frost, Frost is out here thinking about. No, don't tell him Frost is thinking about him. I don't want nobody to think it like that. But all of my well wishes. I hope you get well soon. Tell him Frost said that. What else y'all want to talk about? Come on. Damn, it's 11 o'clock already. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. I got to get ready to go eat. It's time to eat lunch. I will hold on to the chat for a little while longer if y'all commenting. So what's up? What y'all want to talk about? Yes, sir. That's a fact. You stay safe also. Shout out to Philly. No Diddy. I didn't kick you because you didn't say anything disrespectful. Super Saiyan didn't say anything disrespectful, so I didn't kick you. Did I say something that people should have said no Diddy to? I must have missed it. No Diddy. Yeah, you didn't say anything disrespectful, so I didn't kick you. But no, I'm not gonna. I don't want to get into the. I'm fine with people coming in chat, having fun, and all that other stuff. Yeah, there you go. I'm fine with people. He said, I'm going to tell, Ben Roman says, I'm going to tell him you in his prayers. He's in my prayers. Yeah, I'm fine with people coming in having fun and joking around. I'm just not fine with the, people feeling like they got to disrespect me if I don't, like, I'm just not, we're not doing that. You understand what I'm saying? But you came in, you said whatever you wanted to say. I let you be. If somebody wanted to converse with you, they could have conversed with you. But once you start talking crazy about me, I don't have no choice. I got to kick you. We're not doing that. No, no, I'm never going to be ready to have an emotional conversation with you. So there's no reason for you to pull up. You want me to have an emotional conversation with you. I'm never going to be ready for that. So there's no need to pull up. Just so we can be clear. Other people were in here debating. You could have done that. You chose not to. Now, I never want to have an emotional conversation with you. So just so we can be clear. So there's no reason for you to come here. If that's your game plan. If that's, I want to have an emotional conversation with a whole nother man. If that's your game plan, there's no need. So that part. Yeah. All right. So the only person talking is Super Saiyan. I'm gonna let y'all go. Everybody, please, go out there and do something worth doing today. We could also hit that like button on the way out. We could get to 35 likes, right? We got 31 right now. We could get to 35. This is 4 more. Everybody, just go out there, try to do something worth doing in the world today. We're living in a weird time, and we need all of the good energy possible out there. We're living in a time where people are more concerned with trying to get reactions out of other people than they are trying to get closer to God. So we're living in a weird time. Like, people are even concerned with their spiritual well-being in this time that we're living in. People are more concerned with just other things, like nothing that has to do with anything that could benefit them and in their spirit or their soul or other people in any way. So we're living in a weird time. So go out there and try to be a part of the solution and stop, don't spend time trying to be a part of the problem. The people that want to be a part of the problem, just let them go on their own way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta remove people from your life. Sometimes you gotta put yourself in a better position, and sometimes the only way that we could do that is by governing the people that we allow to be around us and that we allow to be in our you know area. So be mindful of, especially if you have a powerful spirit, a powerful aura about yourself, especially if you feel a calling about yourself. Be mindful of the individuals that you decide to share conversations with, that you decide to allow for yourself to share time with. Be cognizant of that, because not everybody is worth your energy, especially if you're a person who God has put a calling on, because he hasn't put a calling on everybody. So especially if it's somebody that God has put a calling on, whatever that calling might be, Satan is always going to be sending people to disrupt you, because that's what Satan's job is. That's why I keep trying to explain to people. The worst thing you can do, and this is just factual, one of the worst things you can do is just randomly troll somebody, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be doing something that's going to be harming the Most High in that person. You're going to be harming an energy that the Most High most likely needs to go out into the world. So be mindful of that when you're doing whatever you're doing. Be mindful that, you're not going to be able to wait until the day that you're about to pass away to be like, God, I'm sorry for all the bad I did. That's not how that works. Like, there has to be actions behind whatever the thing that you want God to forgive you for also, because you have to show your faith. So you can't be a person that has been faithless your whole entire life, never showing any faith in God, never trying to do God's will, ever. And then at that moment be like, God has to forgive me because he's all loving. Well, yes. But if God loves you just as much as he loves me, then that means that he can't just forgive the indifference that you've had towards me unless you do the work. He can't just forgive whatever evil that you've done to me unless you also do the work. You have to also show the faith. You have to also do the work. He can't forgive some kind of indifference or some kind of fucked up shit that if I did something to somebody else. He can't just forgive me for that. I have to show my faith. I have to put in work. Remember, God knows our heart. That means that God wants us to have pure intentions, because we're always going to make mistakes, and a lot of the things that we're going to do are going to be wrong. But what are your intentions like? That's why we have to get away from that feeling of entitlement. And a lot of the times people have a feeling of entitlement. It manifests as, I'm going to be somebody else's karma. That's a feeling of entitlement. Who the hell are you to be somebody's karma or to not be somebody else's karma? Who are you to even think like that? That's a feeling of entitlement. So we have to get rid of things like that, concepts like that, ways of thinking like that. And the first way to get rid of something like that is to not exhibit it, so you don't encourage other people to go down that same path. So just be mindful of what we're doing out here in the world and realize that, whatever you do has such an outward effect that you don't even understand the individuals that might be affected by it. You might do something that affects people that you might never meet. You might do something that might affect people that aren't even born yet, that aren't even born 10 years after you're not here anymore. So you have to understand that, and you should be trying to move accordingly. We can't be perfect, but we're supposed to try to. The first step to that, in my opinion, is to deny Satan's access to you. So you have to deny Satan access to you. You can't be out there doing Satan's work. You can't be out there gossiping on people. You can't be out there just doing shit to people because you want to get a negative response. You want to see them respond. You just can't be doing that. You just can't. So go out there in the world, do some good, stamp God's name on it. Let people know that you come in the name of the Lord. God is good. Jesus is king. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification game. Hashtag Bone Spoilers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.